Hey everybody, this is Jim with Harvest Harmonics. Sorry for the slight tardiness here. It's been a crazy day, and I mean I've talked to people from India, I've talked to people from Africa, several people from Africa, a guy from California, a guy over here. I mean, the interesting thing about the job that I have, and when you're launching a worldwide innovation in technology here, is you start to make communication lines, and that's the cool kind of thing about Facebook and the internet is that, it allows us really the opportunity to reach so many people. And I wanted to kind of start the show by just thanking everybody who's been watching our shows. Thank you for everybody who's been a part of our shows, asking questions, maybe making comments, even the haters out there, even the guys that are like, oh, you're a snake oil, you're full of crap, and this will never work, and, all that stuff. I even appreciate you guys because even you guys are what motivates me to sort of come out here and just continually to prove that what I'm saying is true, that what we have is the real deal, and it's been amazing. And I apologize, but I was intending to have sorry, I was intending to have a couple people on. I was just checking to see if that was them. It was not, but we we were intending to have a guy on, and I'm going to probably get to him either next week or the following week. And he has a very interesting innovation, which is sort of a tray that collects irrigation water. So as you irrigate plants or trees, you can actually put this tray and it funnels the water in toward the plant. Now that has the benefit, of course, of you don't have to irrigate and use as much water in your irrigation system and spray it all over your field, but you can actually collect that and get the trees and the plants the water they need without having to use as much water. And I know that's going to be a big benefit for you guys in California and other places where there's having drought right now. So I apologize I couldn't connect all the dots with him this week, and that was partially my fault because we've been so busy. We've been swamped with just meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting with farmers. And I met, I think, 6 farmers today we had meetings with, and it's been just crazy. There's a lot of interest here with this technology, and we're really just jumping. I kind of knew that it was going to be a slower roll, that we are going to have to just keep communicating and keep getting our message out there, and that as soon as harvest season ended here in the United States, that's exactly what happened. Like everybody that had been just inundated with work on their farm, as soon as the harvest kind of got done, now they're looking, now they're doing the research, now they're sort of doing the follow-ups on all that stuff from during the season. So now is our time to really kick this into high gear. Um, so first of all, thank you for watching my shows if you've been watching us and following us, and I hope to give you guys the information you need and want. So just so you guys know too, if you have questions, please put your comments in, put your questions in. I kind of wanted to make today's show a little more of a Q&A if possible. And so if you guys can, please put your comments in the comment section here. We're live on Facebook and YouTube today. So I'm going to go over a couple of innovations that I've been hearing about and let you guys know what we've been up to. But if you have comments or questions about our company, our technology, or the devices, how it works, please just ask the questions. I want to be able to answer them for you. In the meantime, one thing I wanted to go over with you, and I'm getting a lot of interest. It's very interesting. I'm getting a lot of interest in India and Africa right now. And there's a lot of people that are very interested in this technology that we have, mainly because for a couple of reasons. One, Africa's got some serious problems in terms of its cultivation. They have a lot of insect problems. They have a lot of problems with their soil. They have a lot of problems with getting good, high quality seed, and they have a lot of issues. And if you don't know, Bill Gates and his organizations have been really trying to flood the African market with GMO crops and GMO seeds, and that's of course one method of trying to increase productivity. But the real problem that I've been seeing and talking to farmers is really infrastructure. I mean, a lot of the farmers don't have irrigation systems. They don't have good transportation systems. So even when they grow the food, getting it from the farm to the distribution and out to the markets and stuff is a real challenge in a lot of those areas. So we're really trying to work with them on how we can help them improve their infrastructure. In fact, my plan is actually to show the farmers how they can utilize our technology to increase yields and therefore be able to sell that yield and then reinvest some of that extra profit back into irrigation systems that can be increasing the yield and keeping the yield consistent year over year. That's one method. But The thing I kind of also wanted to talk to you guys about today is that this is an innovation in agriculture. It's an innovative technology, meaning that it's a new technology. It's an advancement in terms of how productivity occurs and how plant productivity, how we advance productivity and obviously sustainability in our farms. And it's an opportunity that some people are going to take advantage of, and some people aren't. Some people are just going to say, "I want to wait." And all the reasons why they want to wait is, some are legit, some are not, whatever. But the bottom line is, you know, this is the type of opportunity that you really should look at and take a hard look at and then make a decision. Because if you take a decision and you act upon this technology now and you put this on your farm and you start seeing results and you start getting the benefits, not just in terms of yield, but also in terms of soil health and reduction in insect and fungal damage. I mean, we've had farmers tell us that our system saved their farm because of a fungal outbreak that destroyed all of the production in their region. He said they would have lost their farm if they didn't have our technology. So don't spend too long, don't sleep on this opportunity. And I invite you guys to take advantage of it. We are giving you every opportunity to prove to yourself that this technology is the real deal. We offer a money back guarantee, so there's no way you can lose money with this. And at the end of the day, we really want to make sure that the farmers are producing well and producing good quality crops for everybody to eat. So don't sleep on this. Don't be one of those guys that looks at, okay, well, I need to have my agronomist say it's okay. I need to have my local university say it's okay. I need to see 10 other farmers in my region saying it's okay. At the end of the day, what you're really saying is you can't make a decision on your own. Like, it's not okay for you to trust your own judgment. And the bottom line is, I understand there's a lot of guys selling products. There's a lot of guys marketing stuff out there, not just in agriculture, but everywhere. And there's a lot of people that don't have your best interest at heart. When we made our commitment that no farmer ever loses money with us, we stood by it. And in some cases, we just said, hey, we're going to walk away from a deal that could have made us quite a bit of revenue. We could have made some sales that could have made us hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when we looked at the math, we saw that the farmer wasn't going to make that money back based upon his economics. We actually walked away from the deal. I said, look, I can't sell this to you. I'm sorry. And they looked at me like, what do you mean you can't sell your product to me? I said, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think that 20 or 30% that I'm going to get you is going to make up the difference in the cost of my system. So I can't help you. And at the end of the day, I think I made a friend. I think he respected that and knew that I was legit and that I would rather walk away from a deal where I didn't feel I could help the person versus just trying to make a sale and a quick buck, because that's a good way to go out of business fast when you start making quick bucks for people. But really, I just want to ask you guys, what what kinds of opportunities have you guys seen in your lifetime that, had you acted at that time, would have made you a tremendous amount of money? I guarantee you, every single person watching this, I don't care if you're in your 20s or in your 60s, I guarantee you, some point in your life, everybody in this who's watching this show, either now or in the future, is going to say to themselves, I can identify a situation where if I would have acted upon that opportunity, I could have tremendously changed the course of my life for the better. And yet you didn't. You will listen to those negative voices. You listen to well, I made a bad decision 5 years ago and it cost me a few $1,000s. Or I listened to that guy and I should have listened to him. Or I wanted to do this and I just, for whatever reason, just couldn't do it. And then I wound up missing out. I'll give you guys a quick story of myself where I did that. Is I actually had an opportunity to buy 100 Bitcoin for, I think, $1,000 or something like that. And I had the money. I could have spent it. I could have bought 1,000 Bitcoin, but I just wasn't sure. I didn't take the time to educate myself about it, and I didn't take the time and opportunity to invest in Bitcoin. Now, this is back when Bitcoin was, I think, about I think it was about $10 a coin. So I could have got 100 Bitcoin for $1,000. Now, of course, hindsight is 2020. And this is, of course, when Bitcoin was brand new. It was a cryptocurrency. Nobody knew that much about it. It was very volatile. It was going up and down, and it was very unclear whether or not it was going to remain stable and even survive. But of course, I think that was about 10 years ago now. 10 years later, Bitcoin is worth what is it, $60,000 per coin. I mean, I could have had what was that? I could have had $6 million in my pocket for the investment of 1,000. You know, and I don't regret it. I don't go back and say, "Oh my God, oh, my life sucks because I didn't make that decision." But you kind of look back on that. I could have had $6 million on an investment of 1,000 had I bought Bitcoin back then. I had the opportunity back to invest a couple $1,000s in Apple right before they, my stepdad was asking me about it. He's like, "What do you know about Apple?" And I said, and I was thinking of them as a computer company, right? I said, "Well, they're doing a big marketing campaign. Steve Jobs just came back to them, but I don't know. They've never really had a big market share in the computer market, so I don't know that I don't think they're going to go out of business, but I don't think that they're going to necessarily be that great." And he said, "Okay." And of course, like 2 years after that, Steve Jobs announces the iPod, not the iPhone, the iPod. And the iPod was the first big foray for Apple, where they really just went back and is like, oh my God, their stock just shoots up. And then the iPhone, of course, comes out a few years after that, and then the iPad, and it's just these innovations kept coming through. And next thing you know, like Apple was worth 100 times what he could have gotten for it. And he forgave me for that, for missing that opportunity. But at the same time, that could have been another time I could have been a millionaire right there easily. So let's talk about the Kiminoxi plant booster. Let's talk about this little device here. This is one of our smaller devices. This is for trial kits, right? So this is for a farm that says, okay, I've got a 2-acre zone or 3-acre zone over there. Let me put this device on there and see that it works on my farm. I'm not going to give you an order for 12 or 15 of these little transmitters. I'm going to just buy the one and test it out. So let's say you take advantage of that opportunity now. Okay, this year. Let's say it's the end of 2021. So for your 2022 season, you're going to invest and spend $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever. And you're really just taking the opportunity to see, do these little coins, which look like little quarters, like little computer chips, do these little coins really produce enough energy? Are they really going to enhance photosynthesis? Is the algorithms, as the instructions and the programming in this little chip here, is that going to be enough to really generate 20 to 30% increases in yield on my farm? Now, of course, I already know the answer is yes. Why do I know that? Because we've tested this. We've tested this and tested this and tested this and tested this. And I think 600 farms now, we have results on 600 farms, probably 50 to 100 different crop types. I mean, we've just tested this ad nauseum. And of course, this year we have the several universities testing this in Ecuador, in Israel, and in other countries. We have this testing going on, so we'll have peer-reviewed studies on this that prove that 20 to 30% increases in yield are actually being delivered by this technology. Not that it can deliver it, or it might deliver it, or if all the stars align correctly. No, our system delivers consistently with this. So think about this: if you have the opportunity right now to increase your productivity by 20 to 30%. What is that really worth to you in real world dollars? Now, if you're a corn farmer, you're probably thinking, well, that's worth about $200 or $300 an acre. Okay, fine. Now, what about if you're a strawberry grower? Strawberry guys can make $100,000 an acre on this. I mean, 20% for a strawberry grower might be $10,000 or $20,000 a year per acre. Now, if they have 100 acres, that could be over $1 million in extra profit this year. And just stop and think about that. Imagine if you invested, I'm just going to pick a number. Imagine if you invested $50,000 to do a big trial on a whole field with this. And that $50,000 investment was going to turn into $1 million or $1.5 million. Would that be worth it to you? Would that kind of result really would that light your fire? Is that enough money for you to say, yeah, I tested this out and works amazingly. It's producing everything you want. If on blueberries I got you $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 per acre more on your blueberries, is that going to be a good return on your investment? If I got you a 5, 6, 10 times return on your money, is that worth it for you? Hopefully you're going to say yes, because these are some of the numbers we're seeing, by the way, guys. One farm said $20,000. Another farm 12,400 more per acre. 17,000 more per acre. I mean, we have a number of these different results all over the world. So stop and think about that. If you have 100 acres on your farm, and I can make you an extra $4,000 an acre, I mean that's $40,000 a year. I know a lot of farmers. I've talked to a lot of farmers, and their actual revenue, their profit in a year, is only 50, 60, 70,000. They're not making millions of dollars a year as a farmer. If I could make millions of dollars a year as a farmer, I mean, I would probably do it. And I know there's some farms out there that are making that, but I know if I knew I could make $20 million a year on farming, I mean, I would probably be a farmer, and I wouldn't be selling this product. I'd be buying it and using it. But ask yourself that question: if you can make an extra $100,000 this next year above what you're already making, I mean, what would that do for you? That could put your kid through college. That could maybe buy a new tractor or a new piece of equipment or pay the old one off. It could hire more labor. Excuse me. I have a lot of farmers complaining they can't find labor because people aren't willing to work. Well, if you had $100,000, maybe you can pay them a little more and they'd come to work. So these are some things you got to think about, because I can almost guarantee you, if fertilizer is not going to do that. Fertilizer is not going to give you that 20 to 30%. Biological inputs are not necessarily going to give you 30 to 40%, 50%. But when you have something that can increase and enhance the entire system of photosynthesis, the entire metabolic process in a plant, you can elevate the whole system and you can really get giant bumps. It's almost like taking the plant and giving it, a hormone shot that's like, and now it's really running. Now it's really producing. Now it's really producing fruits and vegetables. And yet it's not a chemical. It's not an input. It's not a chemical. It's not something that's basically unnaturally altering the genetic code of a plant. It's actually taking that natural genetic code and enhancing it to the point where it fully expresses everything that plant is capable of. So I never tell people, don't expect, Jack and the Beanstalk. Don't expect some miracle or some magical thing that's completely out of reality. But I expect that that plant is going to be as healthy and as productive as it possibly can be. And you'll be maximizing everything else you're already doing on your farm. Because sometimes it's more important not to change things that you're doing on your farm, but to look at how can I actually make the entire operation more efficient. Now, part of that is maybe reducing costs and stuff, but the other part of that is being able to really maximize the amount of total production you get for the amount of inputs and time and energy you're spending on this. And the Kiminasi Plant Booster is by far and away the best return on investment of any type of input or any type of equipment that you can possibly see. So and I don't know about other pieces of equipment like tractors or seeds or other things, but I don't know anybody else in the in the farming space that really gives you a money back guarantee where they say, look, if we don't produce, you get your money back. And we put that there because we understand and we know it is challenging. It is difficult. There's a lot of variables, a lot of things that go into farming. It's hard to predict. It's hard to control sometimes. But you really need to, you really need to see this technology and utilize it and see what it can do. And here's the other thing that I get quite a lot is what I'm going to wait for the peer-reviewed studies on this because I want to see what the science says about it and what those peer-reviewed trials on. By the way, we already have 34 of those trials in progress, and of course, once the peer-reviewed studies are published, we'll of course share those with you. So it's not like we're not getting the science; it just takes time. This technology has been around since the end of 2019. COVID shut a lot of our initial studies down last year, and this year we're really just getting rolling on the science trials themselves. But we didn't want to wait and we wanted to give farmers the opportunity to use this and get the benefits before it gets all the studies, before it gets all the proof. Because once it gets all the proof, we're going to put this at the price point that it really deserves. This technology could be $1,000 an acre within just a couple of years. Once we get these peer-reviewed studies and we can prove that farmers are really going to be making $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 an acre on their farm, then yes, we will charge. We might charge 1,000 an acre. We might charge 2,000 an acre. And yes, it's going to be way more expensive than any other type of input, but this is going to be a guaranteed win that you're going to make your money back and you're going to make more money. So why shouldn't we charge a fair price for it? In the meantime, you can get this for quite a bit less than that. We still have our introductory pricing from 2020, 2021, and as of next year, we're going to start seeing that price creep up again, guys. And I want to give you the opportunity before we start doing that to take advantage of this opportunity while you have it. You know you're going to want to see it on your farm anyway. You know you're going to want to run your own tests, and we know that you're going to still want to see what this technology can really do for you and your farm. So why don't we just get that done now? Let's just get started. Let's just get these trials underway on your farm. Get to where you can see these results and see what we're doing on your farm so you can be part of the future of farming today. Because if you wait, you're going to be part of the future one way or another, guys. You might be part of the future of farming because fertilizer guys may just not have enough product for you. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but you may find out that everybody else is using it and you have to use this product to be competitive just to stay in business. And I would rather you guys take advantage at the front of the curve and start making extra money rather than losing money because everybody else has been outproducing you. So I hope this has helped you guys. I don't really see any questions here in the chat. I guess you guys don't have any questions here. Maybe it's a tired Friday or a long week. But if you guys do have questions and you think of them later, please type them in the comments of this video here. We do go back and answer your comments and your questions. So of course, if you have something you want to share with us, please let us know. We would love to work with you. And in the meantime, I want just to give you one last chance here. It's the end of 2021 here. It's in November. And this technology is amazing. It's producing amazing results. And this is your last chance to get it at a truly competitive, almost a steal type of a price. Because once we really get all this documentation and all the test results back, we're going to put this technology at the price it should be, which is more equivalent to what we're really producing on the farms and what it can really do. So if you have ever looked at this or ever gotten a quote from us and said, well, that's way too cheap for a product that does all this. The reality is it's not going to be that cheap for much longer. So you have the opportunity, go jump on it, get started on a trial. I don't care if it's 5 acres, 10 acres, or 100 acres, whatever you want to do. Let's get you going with Kemanasi Plant Booster now. Let's get you set up now. And then next year, when we get this thing rolling with you, you're going to see tremendous results. That's all I got today, guys. Have a great day and a great weekend. We'll see you again next week on the Future of Farming Today. We'll show you how to become part of the innovative crowd of agriculturists who are actually seeing amazing results with the Kemanasi Plant Booster. Thank you and have a great day, guys.